What's up, everybody? I'm Katera.
And I'm Karima, and we are the co-founders of Carolina Black Book. So today we are continuing with our CEO chats, and we have with us the owner of Kiki's Chicken and Waffles. So, as you all know, we go through, ask the business owners a couple of questions and just get to know a little bit more about them and their business. So, we will go ahead and kick this thing off. So, Kiki, if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself and your business.
So I graduated from USC in 2009. And I majored in marketing and sports entertainment management. I don't have a culinary degree. I always get that question, do I have some sort of degree in cooking or culinary arts? But I do not. We opened Kiki's Chicken and Waffles in 2012. Basically have, the experience of working in plenty of restaurants and just decided to, open up a restaurant.
Nice.
I was about to say, I didn't know that's what you studied in school. I thought you studied hotel and what's it called? Tourism
management.
Yeah.
Nope, I did not. I was in the Dollar School of Business with a minor in sports management. I actually did want to work in the sports field. That's why I was working with the women's basketball team while I was at USC, but that field was very competitive. So I was just like, let's just change the change what I want to do.
Gotcha.
It's always interesting now hearing like where people are, how it started versus how it's going, what you majored in versus where you are now, because it can be, two totally different things. But the beauty of it is just because we majored in one thing does not mean we can't totally, excel in different areas. And I think you are definitely, the picture and example of that.
Thank you.
Definitely. So you kind of touched on this already about how you got started, but could you just go into like a little more detail about the beginning process of opening your restaurant?
Sure. So let's see, 2009 graduated, and I actually was working at Verizon Wireless call center after I graduated. I really didn't like that job, but it was just, something basically because I needed a job. And actually I met Tyrone while I was working at California Dream, and I worked at California Dream and while I was at USC. And actually after I graduated, I was working there as well. And we wanted to open up a business. We didn't know what type of business we wanted to open up, but we both had the experience in restaurants. And so basically, we just, started to brainstorm. We ate at Gladys Knight Chicken and Waffles. And, that place was like the place to go 10 years ago. And so we decided that, okay, let's bring a chicken and waffle spot to Columbia, South Carolina. After waiting 2 hours in line to get into that restaurant, we knew it would be a big hit for Columbia. So when we got back to Columbia, we started brainstorming, trying to choose the name, what type of menu we wanted, what location we wanted to be in Columbia. And basically we just went from there with the process of opening up the business. And I would say the hardest part was finding the location, because we just didn't know where we wanted to be and what side of town. And then no one really wanted to give us the experience. No one really wanted to give us the chance to, open up a restaurant because we didn't have the business experience, basically.
Got it. But you guys now have 2 locations, so there's that on that.
Right. two locations, a food truck, and we're in the Colonial Life Arena. Also too, no one wanted to give us any, revenue or not revenue, but money to open up the business as well, because restaurants are risky. No one wanted to give us out loans or anything. So we pretty much went all in with what we had, our savings, just to open up this restaurant. So we didn't take no for an answer. When they told us no on the location we really, really wanted, we just went from there. When they told us no at the banks, we just, what, we really want to do this. Let's go for it. So
Well, Columbia is definitely glad that you guys went for it because we love chicken and waffles. So thank you for persevering.
Thank you.
Yes. So look, so happy you guys did. So of course, we are still very much in this pandemic where, we may not necessarily be in the thick of it, but we're still in the midst of it. So just, thinking back to 2020, how has and I guess, from 2020 up until now, how has the pandemic impacted your business?
So from the loss of employees, and I don't blame them for leaving a place of business that they were making, good money with. But when we closed, one of our locations closed for about a month. They went to places where places that did not close, like Lowe's and Walmart, Home Depot, and Sam's. So we just basically lost a lot of staff. So basically we're trying to rebuild. We lost a lot of revenue, being that we were just doing to-go orders for probably about 3 months or more at one of the locations. And while Bauer was closed for about a month, and then we went to goes or whatever. And then just the fact that people aren't comfortable with eating out. So if they're not comfortable with eating out, we're losing sales that way as well. So we're slowly building back up to where we, should be. But it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to what we're so used to, being on a wait all day on a weekend. It's just, it's not the same, but we're getting there.
Do you think that having a food truck played a big part in, keeping revenue going during the pandemic?
So yes, the food truck did play a big part, because, a lot of people could, visit the food truck outside. So, we were doing weddings, we were doing, just different events at people's homes, or, basically being outside is, key, what the CDC says about being outside in the open. So the food truck has helped out a lot. With the Colonial Life Arena, we did not do any business there for a whole year. So that was loss of sales as well. So.
Well, I'm definitely glad that you guys were able to pivot and that you had like the food truck in place and things like that, so that even though you did suffer, you were able to still kind of continue, whereas some businesses might have had to just close their doors all the way. So that's good. So how did you guys decide what would be on your menu besides chicken and waffles?
So basically, we wanted to have we didn't want to have a large menu. That was the biggest thing. When you have a large menu, you have to have a lot of inventory, and we did not have a big space. So we knew that we wanted to have a small menu, but give customers a variety to choose from. And so basically, we said chicken and waffles. Then we decided, okay, we need to have some type of seafood on there for people who don't eat chicken. People don't eat waffles. We need to have some type of starch on there. So mashed potatoes, smothered chicken, that type of stuff. And then once we started to, get a large crowd, people were starting to ask for certain things like mac and cheese, collard greens. And then we just kind of took that into consideration and said, okay, we really need to put this stuff on our menu. And so now pretty much we're considered a chicken and waffle soul food restaurant now because of the soul food items that we added to our menu. Also, people started asking for beer and wine. So we decided to add the mimosas to the menu as well. So pretty much just listening to our customers, that's how we pretty much came up with our menu.
Gotcha. That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
That, they put in the request and you guys listened. So
right.
And it's National Soul Food Month for those who don't know.
Oh, I did not know that. That's awesome. But, listening to your customers is very important in this business, because you want to try to, I guess, listen to their suggestions and kind of put into place, and they feel good when you listen to them. So.
Absolutely. Look, I'm thankful for all of those additions to the menu for sure. I enjoy them all.
Thank you.
So what are some of the first lessons that you learned after going into business or after opening the restaurant?
One of my first lessons, I would say is, everything is not perfect. As a woman, we want everything to go just as we plan, just basically perfect. And I had to learn that the hard way. Things is going to come up no matter what. From staff calling out, a pipe busting in the bathroom. You just have to pivot and fix it and just move on and go from there. And that's one of the things that I definitely learned the hard way. Because you just get upset with certain things, like, why did this happen? But it's going to happen no matter what. You just have to know how to adapt to what happens and just make those changes.
So what is one thing that you wish customers knew about owning a restaurant?
Only one thing. So the most important thing I would say is that when prices go up in the store, 9 times out of 10, our prices for our food goes up as well. So even though we buy in bulk, it does not mean that the prices are cheaper. We have to make changes to our menu pricing when our prices go up from our distributor, and it goes up all the time. So it's not easy, and that's the biggest thing when people aren't keen to menu price changes. They get upset and think that the prices have to stay the same for 10 years, but you cannot run a business like that.
That's definitely a good one. We'll give you like 2 more if you got some more.
Let's see. I guess one of the other things too, things come up all the time. And so when we have to pivot, understand that restaurants go through when servers don't come in, and we have to kind of make changes as we go. And it's like you come in and you're like, oh, why aren't the servers here to handle my table? But you don't know that we had 2 people call out because they had a flat tire or death in the family. So things come up where you have to pivot, and you can't just get mad because, okay, I'm not being taken care of. It's not so easy to call someone in and say, hey, can you work this shift, especially on a Saturday when they got the day off? Who's going to come in? Pretty much no one. So you just kind of have to, pivot and just kind of make it work, basically. My husband, he's big with that, making it work wherever we can and not just, harping on the problem.
Definitely. Yes. Definitely good to take into consideration the things that may not be in your face. So
right.
Before you get an attitude, just, just think, something could be going on. Maybe I shouldn't give them a hard time today.
Exactly. And me working in the restaurant business, I'm very, I consider what things may be happening at another restaurant and understand, it's like when you work in retail, you understand when things happen. Like for instance, if you go into a clothing store and their credit card machine goes down, you understand that those things happen. But that happens in our restaurant, and people get so upset and they walk out. Well, I'm not going to eat here, but you don't understand that, the internet may be out, just like how the internet goes out at your house. It happens in the restaurant too. So, those type of things that, people need to understand that things happen.
Definitely.
Yeah, if only customers could give a little bit of grace. I know I've heard people say you're so calm. I would have been mad. I'm like, look, I have worked retail. I have worked, in many places. And trust me, after having to go through it, I'm not doing that to these people, because a lot of times you just gotta play the cards you've been dealt for that day, because like you're just saying, anything can happen.
Right.
So, what advice would you give anyone who is thinking about opening a restaurant, or even if you have any general advice for aspiring entrepreneurs?
The advice that I can give someone who wants to open up their own business, for one, do your research. Research the business that you want to open. Another one would be, don't want to jump the process. A lot of people see people with, for instance, a restaurant and see how successful they are. Not saying that you can't use that as a motivation to yourself, but just know that we had to go through so much to get where we're at. So it takes time. You can't want to jump the process. You got to trust the process, go through the process and learn it, and learn where you want to go. Also, ask for a mentor, find a mentor. But when you ask for a mentor, ask someone to be your mentor, ask them how you can add value to them. You know, so many people want to have someone mentor them, but they don't want to give anything to help that person out. You know, it's like, you know, so many people ask me, you know, can you mentor me on opening up a restaurant? Sure. I'm not going to say no, but what can you add value to me? You know, if I need, you know, someone to run a social media page, you know, what can you do to help me out? Because, you know, I may not have those skills and you may have the skills to do that. Another thing would be to just, you know, work in the field that you want to work in. A lot of people ask, you know, about the restaurant field. They know how to cook really good, but they don't understand the business of it. And it's very important to understand the business of the field that you want to get into, because it's not as easy as just cooking food and putting it on a plate and giving it to a customer. You have to understand the timing. You have to understand of controlling the front door. You have to understand of how to order food and make sure that the pricing is right so that you're making money, and understand the food costs. You have to understand the customer service part about it. So, you know, doing your research is very important on whatever business that you want to get into.
All good advice, definitely.
All great things that can apply to any business, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we don't want to hold you up, so that is all that we have today for our CEO chat. We want to thank you again for just taking the time to speak with us today. No and problem. Before we go, if you could just shout out like your social media handles and your website.
Okay. So you can find us on Instagram, Kikis Chicken, KIKISCHICKEN, Kikis Chicken and Waffles on Facebook. And our website is www.kikschickenandwaffles.com.
All right, sounds good. So you guys, they have 2 locations, so make sure you check out one or both. And I think I heard you say in an interview that you were thinking about opening another location, possibly somewhere else soon.
So we want to open up another location in Charleston. And with the pandemic, you know, we started to kind of brainstorm of where we wanted to have the location at, but we kind of put that on the back burner for right now, what's going on. But Charleston is one of my locations I want to kind of get to, because I'm from there. And we have a lot of people that travel from Charleston to Columbia. So I think that'll be a good spot. Good area.
Well, someone thinks that'll be a good spot too.
Yes, absolutely.
What area?
Oh, goodness. North Charleston would be a good area. I just feel like that can even be broad. I'm trying to figure out like which kind of pocket of town. Yeah, North Charleston would be good.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because many places, the price tag to come along with that location would definitely be a bit more, but North Charleston would be good for that, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people want us to go downtown on King Street, and you know those places they pay so much in rent, and a lot of people, and a lot of people's like upset with people, businesses and restaurants closing downtown. But how much money could you make just doing to-go orders during the pandemic? I mean, and to keep up with like a $15,000 rent is not easy. Mm-hmm. You know, and you know, you just kind of have to make the right choice. And most of them had to pretty much close to, you know, because it was the best thing to do, really. So,
Well, Karima looks forward to the day where you guys open in Charleston.
Well, I do. Look, whether open in Charleston, look, I'm still going to make my little stop through Columbia. Like, hey, I need an order. Even during the pandemic, I would go and work at one of my friend's house just to get away and be around people ever so often. I get to her house. She was like, what do you want to eat? I was like, you already know. Look, can we make a to-go order at Kiki's?
Well, thank you so much for supporting us. I appreciate it.
Always.
Well, again, that's it. We want to thank you so much. And until next time, bye.